Hi gang, and welcome back to Dr. Fitzgerald's Grammar Nuts and Bolts. Dr. Fitz here again, and it's time for grammar issue number 2. And today we're going to be talking about run-ons and comma splices, how to recognize them, and how to fix them. But first, we need to unlearn a common misconception about what a run-on is, or rather, what a run-on is not. Many students I meet think that a run-on sentence is one that is unnecessarily long and confusing. It just runs on and on. The truth is, the length of a sentence has nothing to do with whether it is a run-on. Which is the run-on? I'm going to show you 2 sentences, and I want you to tell me which is the run-on. On the left is a 6-word sentence I wrote. My cat was tired, she yawned. And on the right is a 207-word sentence written by the great American novelist Henry James. Do you need a few moments to read it? No, don't bother. But which one do you suspect is the run-on? Well, I'll give you a hint. Did you get it? That's right, the one on the left. My cat was tired, she yawned. So whether a sentence is a run-on has nothing to do with its length. But what makes my cat was tired, she yawned a run-on? Well, we'll get to that. But first we need to talk about 2 key concepts: independent clauses and coordinate conjunctions. Now, did you just tense up a little bit? Calm down, they're easy. First, let's refresh our minds about what we learned about independent clauses in the fragment video. As I said then, and forget any other definition that you have learned, it is a group of words that by themselves can be a sentence. And if you recall, we said it 5 times. A group of words that by themselves can be a sentence. A group of words that by themselves can be a sentence. A group of words that by themselves can be a sentence. A group of words that by themselves can be a sentence. Okay, so just be sure that this definition is in your notes. If not, hit pause, I'll wait. Have you got it? Okay. So that's it for independent clauses. Let's talk about coordinate conjunctions. The 7 coordinate conjunctions are for, and, nor, but, or, yet, and so. Now, the 7 coordinate conjunctions are sometimes referred to as the fanboys. Can you guess why? Yeah, that's right. So you want to have these memorized if you can, and I'll tell you, it helps if you sing them to the tune of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Sing with me. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. I can't sing. What am I singing for? Okay, so fanboys are the 7 coordinate conjunctions, but why do they belong to that family? Well, coordinate conjunctions link items of equal grammatical value. Okay, you know what comes next. Let's say it a couple more times. Coordinate conjunctions link items of equal grammatical value. Coordinate conjunctions link items of equal grammatical value. Coordinate conjunctions link items of equal grammatical value, and coordinate conjunctions link items of equal grammatical value. Okay, they are linking words, but they link items of equal grammatical value. Well, what items? Words, phrases, and clauses. And why do we say equal grammatical value? Well, I could say, in my pocket are nickels and dimes. The and is linking the 2 words, nickels and dimes, but they're not of equal monetary value, are they? But they are of equal grammatical value in as much as they are items in my pocket. So again, coordinate conjunctions link items of equal grammatical value. If I said to you, I went to the zoo and I saw a giraffe, and is one of the fanboys, so that would mean that these 2 clauses, I went to the zoo and I saw a giraffe, are of equal grammatical value. That's right. Going to the zoo and seeing a giraffe are of equal grammatical value. One's not important to the other. Compare that to when I went to the zoo, I saw a giraffe. Suddenly, when I went to the zoo is no longer an independent clause. I saw a giraffe still is, but I saw a giraffe now becomes more important because when I went to the zoo becomes subordinate to the independent clause. It's less important. Okay, well finally, let's get to why we're here. Run-ons and comma splices. Take a look at this. I have a dog, his name is Rocco. Is there a problem with the sentence? Well, if you think there's a problem with the sentence, probably are thinking it's right there between dog and his. Is that right? Why is the sentence broken at that spot? Well, I have a dog. That's an independent clause, isn't it? I can walk into a crowded room and yell, I have a dog. And that's a sentence all by itself, isn't it? His name is Rocco. That too is an independent clause. And if you object and say without the first part of the sentence you won't know who I mean by the words his name is Rocco, whose name is Rocco, I say to you, if a dog walked into the room and I pointed to him and said, his name is Rocco, you would have to agree that those 4 words are a group of words which by themselves can be a sentence. Bottom line, you could have put a period and a capital letter H in between there and make it 2 sentences. I have a dog, his name is Rocco. You have 2 independent clauses. So here's our definition of a run-on sentence. A run-on sentence is 2 independent clauses improperly linked. Okay, you know what comes next. Let's say it a couple times. A run-on sentence is 2 independent clauses improperly linked. 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 So let's go back to this one. I have a dog. His name is Rocco. That's a run-on because we have 2 independent clauses linked with nothing. How about this one? I have a dog and his name is Rocco. That's still a run-on. It's not enough to put a fanboys in between 2 independent clauses. It's still a run-on. Or how about I have a dog, comma, his name is Rocco. That's still 2 independent clauses improperly linked, this time with just a comma. That's still a run-on, but it has its own special name. It's called a comma splice. It's as if you're trying to splice together 2 independent clauses with just a comma. Not allowed to do that. So just another quick definition for your notes. A comma splice is a type of run-on wherein 2 independent clauses are linked with only a comma. Go ahead and pause and make sure that's in your notes. Okay, if you're getting tired of being told what not to do, here are 4 ways to link 2 independent clauses. First off, you can use a comma with one of the fanboys. I have a dog, comma, and his name is Rocco. That's perfectly acceptable. Second, you can use a semicolon. I have a dog, semicolon, his name is Rocco. That's perfectly acceptable, but a word of warning about semicolons. First, by using a semicolon between 2 independent clauses, you are saying there's some kind of connection between the 2. I have a dog, his name is Rocco. That's fine, but I have a dog, my toaster burns my toast, probably isn't, since there seems to be no clear-cut relationship between the 2 independent clauses. A second warning about semicolons. Do not overuse them. Some students, once they learn how to connect independent clauses with semicolons, will stuff 5 or 6 of them in a paragraph. I call this semicolonitis. It sounds like a painful condition. Don't fall into it yourself. And then finally, don't use a semicolon where a comma should go. If you use a semicolon in my class, you are telling me it is standing between 2 independent clauses. To the left is an independent clause, and to the right is an independent clause. By the way, there is one rarer use of the semicolon that involves separating items on a list when commas won't do. Don't worry about that. So for the sake of this course, you're only going to use semicolons in between 2 independent clauses. So, time for a quick rule. Use semicolons only between 2 independent clauses and sparingly. Don't overdo it. You can also just make 2 sentences. I have a dog, period. His name is Rocco, period. That's perfectly acceptable. Now, it might sound a little bit choppy, but it is an option. Finally, you can rewrite the sentence so you have only 1 independent clause. I have a dog named Rocco. That's only 1 independent clause. So whatever else a sentence might be guilty of, it cannot be a run-on or a comma splice if there's only 1 independent clause. Let me say a little more about option number 4, rewrite the sentence so you have only 1 independent clause. Remember this one? My cat was tired, she yawned. A good way of turning 2 independent clauses into 1 is to stick a subordinator in front of one of the clauses. You recall we talked about these a little bit in lesson 1. So we could put a subordinate conjunction in front of a perfectly acceptable independent clause, my cat was tired, and make it because my cat was tired, she yawned, or when my cat was tired, she yawned, or since my cat was tired, she yawned. These are examples of option 4, rewrite the sentence so you only have 1 independent clause, because by sticking a subordinator in front of a perfectly decent independent clause, my cat was tired, you have turned it into a dependent clause. Now you only have 1 independent clause, so you cannot have a run-on or a comma splice. And just a quick reminder, do you remember subordinate conjunctions from grammar lesson number 1? Fragments? If not, you may want to go back and take a second look. Okay, summary time. A run-on sentence is 2 independent clauses improperly linked. A comma splice is a type of run-on. is linking two independent clauses with just a comma. 3 ways not to connect two independent clauses. With nothing. I have a dog, his name is Rocco. That's a run-on, there's nothing in between the two independent clauses. With just a coordinating conjunction, one of the fanboys. I have a dog and his name is Rocco. That's still a run-on. Or with just a comma. I have a dog, comma, his name is Rocco. That's a comma splice. And finally, let's review the 4 ways to connect two independent clauses. You can use a comma with one of the fanboys. My cat was tired, so she yawned. You could use a semicolon. My cat was tired, she yawned. Or make 2 sentences. My cat was tired, she yawned. Or finally, rewrite the sentence so you only have one independent clause. Because my cat was tired, she yawned. Well, this is pretty exciting stuff, isn't it? Well, okay, maybe not. Anyway, well done. And as always, thank you for watching this presentation. Have a great day.